All right, guys, what is going on? As always, this is the Club of Demand 1993. It is Wednesday night, and for the second week in a row, and from here on out, unless the schedule changes, Wednesday nights are the trifecta for these brief reviews of the short 1 hour shows on the WWE Network. NXT UK, of course, we're going to do first. So this is the live review of the second ever episode of NXT UK. And for the second week in a row, because I do believe not all these episodes are going to be taking place in the same place. I think they're going to be taking place in different places, throughout the UK. But this one, once again, for the second week in a row, took place at the Corn Exchange in Cambridge, England, if that's how you pronounce it correctly. And overall, we didn't have any championship matches this week. I thought it was just another show that, displayed just introducing us to the talent more for this brand, introducing us to more characters, establishing people, and seeing where we go from there. I gave this the same grade as I gave last week because I felt it just did its job. Maybe not quite as good as last week since this week we didn't have a championship match, but obviously things are being teased and are teased with yet to come. So we'll see what happens. Of course, the biggest gripe I'm having though with NXT UK right now is you're introducing your roster on the WWE app, but you have no freaking profile pictures for anything except the talent that was already around, like Dakota Kai, Pete Dunne, Noam Dar, Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven. Like, give these guys profile pictures, please. All these blanks drive me crazy. Bobby Lashley's been back in WWE since April, and he still does not have a profile picture on the WWE app. It's driving me crazy. Same with like Drake Maverick, who's been around since the beginning of the year. He does not yet have a profile picture. Guys, get that fixed. It's just a nitpick. Me being a picky fan and whatnot, but other than that, again, NXT UK is very exciting to me. Again, I really appreciate, the different style of wrestling the UK wrestlers have brought. And even like some stars like, Dakota Kai, I feel are really going to excel. And, again, not saying she wasn't taking it seriously in NXT. I mean, she was, but I feel like she was getting a little bit lost in the shuffle because how stacked the talent is in NXT, of course, right now. So this brand may also allow someone like Dakota Kai, who, is on NXT, but I love them to get a little more recognition, with, again, with the stacked talent they have in a developmental brand right now for both developmental brands. So let's get right into this and talk about this episode of NXT UK. We get a recap of what happened last week, of course, with the introduction of the show, and recap of the NXT UK Championship match between Pete Dunne and Noam Dar, which was a great match. And then we started off with a match. It was Ligero taking on Mike, the Wild Boar Hitchman. Never really heard of these two guys before, but I thought that, Hitchman was obviously, the bigger guy. Ligero was just, the Lucha Libre. Like most Lucha Libres come in there, wrestling with, just the high flying style and whatnot. And I was pretty impressed with this match. It's pretty much just, the more, it's kind of like a typical David and Goliath match for the most part. Hitchman, I thought, was a very physical big man, and Ligero was was just the high flyer. And I thought these two gelled really well together. And Ligero wins with a tornado DDT hitting that on Hitchman. So the kind of a little bit of an upset win seemed here, since Ligero's a smaller underdog and whatnot. And I look forward to. I thought Mike Hitchman, well, the wild boar, as he's called, I thought he put on a strong showing as well, despite losing. So once again, just another pair of people I look forward to seeing, what they can bring to this UK division. That was our opening match to start off. We then have Dakota Kai making her NXT UK debut, taking on a woman who was in the first round, who lost in the first round of the Mae Young Classic, but I was impressed with her match, Killer Kelly. I'm trying to remember who Killer Kelly took on, though, that she lost to. Maybe Mako Satomura, I can't remember. I haven't seen the semifinals yet for Mae Young Classic. I may watch them tonight while I'm doing the next, couple levels of Halloween 3D, and maybe get started on the War Games card. But I like this match in general because Killer Kelly. Although Killer Kelly, I thought would probably come in looking stronger. I feel because Dakota Kai more of the underdog. I felt Dakota Kai brought a little more of like an aggressive, seen a little bit more aggressive in this match, or it might have been just me. she didn't look like a complete underdog in this match, but her and Killer Kelly, I thought they're putting in a good match. Again, I was very impressed with Killer Kelly's work. She was definitely someone I went, oh, I wouldn't mind seeing her stick around and see what she can do, like down in developmental and whatnot. And she's getting her shots on NXT UK. Dakota Kai, though, eventually does win the match, though, with her set of kicks. She ran into the corner, hit on Killer Kelly, and then hit a Kai de Gras, if that's what you call it. It was kind of like a code red backstabber, pretty much. She hit a pretty good match. It brought out, I felt like the best in Dakota Kai. Made it look like she, it's pretty much the Bailey of NXT right now. Well, and NXT UK also. She has that underdog look to her, but she can come out on top and be serious game based, not bad like this fangirl toddler all the time, like Bailey is on the main roster. But then afterwards, she's interviewed. I cannot pronounce the guy's name, unfortunately. She puts over to the UK crowd, says a little birdie told her there will be a UK women's title, and Dakota wants to be involved in competition for that, wherever it's that or the NXT Women's Championship. Like she wants in on that. So just make a little statement like, hey, there's a women's title come to the UK. So again, I mean, I'm sure we will still see Dakota in NXT, but I'm pretty sure also I feel she'll probably get a little bit more of a push in NXT UK than regular NXT. Or we could see again, these all these stars, collide on, both brands, I feel. But again, we'll see what happens there. But like I said last week, NXT UK is allowing superstars from 205 Live, besides just Noam Dar so far. Again, I'm really, really hoping that gentleman Jack Gallagher gets some time in this brand also. I think he can really benefit from being a part of this. I don't know Noam Dar is going to. Says he's back on 205 Live and like a fresh new baby face. So I still feel like he's still going to be overshadowed a little bit. So give him something to do. Put him in NXT UK, which is great to do, and bring other people in there as well who want to go to war with the UK wrestlers. But I enjoyed that. We get highlights of Zach Gibson winning the UK Championship tournament, but coming up short against Pete Dunne recently, and we're going to hear from him later in a little bit. We didn't get another Eddie Dennis promo addressing, that we talked about last week about him being friends with Pete Dunne and Mark Andrews, but then addressing the age difference between him while he was pursuing a career as a teacher, becoming a principal of an elite private school. Dunne and Andrews were living in their parents' houses and flying to America for bookings, and he had to watch them work for WWE. How do we think that made him feel? So even though he was having a successful career again in education, he obviously showed a little bit of jealousy of his two friends here. That he knew them growing up very well. He's probably, he's a lot older than them, but obviously he wants to, he's jealous and it seems like he's jealous and wants to come into NXT and overpower them. Could we maybe look at the guy who could be dethroning Pete Dunne of his UK Championship maybe when Eddie Dennis comes? Not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. So an interesting promo there that caught my eyes. Then we had Zach Gibson come out, Liverpool's #1. He is getting booed the hell out of him. Now again, I always see Zach Gibson in this past year's UK Championship tournament. So I need to learn a little more about him to know why he's getting this massive heat that he's getting. But he looks like a guy that could easily draw heat on him. He says he'll soon be the world's #1, NXT UK's #1. He put over beating Travis Banks, Flash Morgan Webster, and Jack Gallagher at Royal Albert Hall to win the championship tournament. The only reason why he didn't beat Pete Dunne is because he wasn't rested or prepared. A well-rested Zach Gibson can beat the bruiserweight, and Pete knows it. He blames the Royal Albert Hall crowd and their chants, and the crowd is just so loud he demands to have his mic turned up. Gibson complains he hasn't been given a rematch he deserves, even though he was given another match. He was given another match in one of the dark matches of NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 was, I believe so. He runs down how Noam Dar got a title shot, though, and claimed he didn't deserve it. He runs down Dar's failures, And of course, I thought at first he was going to mention Alicia Fox. I'm like, please don't do that. Please don't do this. Please don't bring us back there. But then out came Noam Dar before that happened. Like, thank goodness. So Dar comes out. Before he can get to the ring, he takes off his shirt. He gets to the ring, about to challenge to a fight. Johnny Saint, the NXT UK general manager, comes out, and he tells them not to even think about it and orders them both to his office. So they go to his office, and then a little later announced that next week's main event would be a match between Zach Gibson and Noam Dar. So Noam Dar's second match on NXT UK, and we Zach Gibson's first match on the newest brand in the WWE as well. So hopefully, I look forward to seeing where that match goes next week. Reestablishing Noam Dar as like an underdog babyface again in NXT UK, and establish Zach Gibson as more dominating a heel since he gets massive heat. Which again, I don't know much history behind him, other than him being in the NXT UK tournament. In the UK Championship tournament this year. So we'll see what we get. So that's what we're going to get next week in the main event. We get a hype video for Ashton Smith, who's going to be in a match next against Tucker, who Ashton Smith defeated Tucker. He kind of reminded me of I don't know, Shelton Benjamin type. Like, he had like the flexible, or even Bobby Lashley or Apollo Crews. Like, he just had that like athletic ability to him. And Tucker wasn't too bad either, but Ashton just had the bigger advantage of him in size, I felt. So I'm still getting to know some of these guys, so I'm interested to see what happens there with Ashton Smith as he defeats Tucker with a ripcord DDT, as he calls it, the Ash Cloud. Before the match, though, we had an interview backstage with Travis Banks, who is the runner-up in the NXT UK tournament, who vows to get revenge on the Coffey brothers, Mark and Joe Coffey, for what they did to him in London at the UK Championship tournament. Because I believe I think he was the one who was facing them when the Coffey brothers like fully turned heel. And then I think they attacked him and Mark Andrews, and maybe I can't remember. Mark Andrews, I think Travis Banks, Noam Dar, and I can't remember. Might have been Flash Morgan Webster. I can't remember who it was in the match for the number one contendership for the NXT UK title, which for a future UK title shot. But they made a statement there of causing an injury to Travis Banks. So I look forward to seeing what he'll do, as he's going to be going over after the Coffey brothers first. We also are going to see Danny Burch, who's part of a tag team with Oni Lorcan at NXT. Danny Burch is going to debut next week as a single star, though, in NXT UK. So I look forward to see what he brings to the table as a single star, as I've definitely been impressed with him and Oni Lorcan as a tag team. Not sure if Oni Lorcan's going to come over also, and they'll go after the NXT UK tag titles. But we'll have to wait and see. But I was surprised to see Danny Burch, be a single star in this tournament. I mean, on this railway, I think it's good for him, because I don't see him going up to the main roster. I mean, they're a great tag team, but for now, I still see him just being an NXT team. I don't see him really up main roster worthy yet. So let's see what he can bring to the table as a NXT UK star. And then we have our main event, Tyler Bate versus Wolfgang. As always, they really emphasized in this match, as always, how Tyler Bate, despite being a small dude, the guy is ripped as hell. He literally can do anything. He can fight, like a big man. He can fight a cruiserweight. He can fight a technical wrestler, a mat wrestler. Like, he can adapt to all styles of wrestling, no matter, who he's facing. And that's, again, why I enjoy watching this guy wrestle. He easily against one of the better guys in the WWE. This guy can put on a match of the year candidate whenever he wants. And the guy's only 21 years old. He won the UK title at age 19. Wolfgang had a great show in there, as well as Wolfgang's been like a dark horse for the UK division. He's been getting the rare title shots here and there. Besides Trent Seven, who's of course his Tyler Bates tag team partner for Mustache Mountain, Pete Dunne. Wolfgang was the other one who was used here and there. It's in NXT more often than the few others who were given UK title shots and whatnot. So he'll probably kind of play that dark horse role again here in NXT, but I thought the best was brought out in him as well. But Tyler Bate wins this match, could be getting him, maybe Noam Dar and Zach Gibson, and who knows, maybe Eddie Dennis also set up for maybe eventual fatal four-way or something like that for the NXT UK Championship. I wouldn't mind seeing it sometime down the line. We're probably going to get it. Again, I'm not sure what's going to happen with, the titles, for if there's going to be any pay-per-views for NXT UK, or if there's going to be, pay-per-views and unlike just regular NXT events. So we'll have to wait and see. But, we're definitely probably going to get Pete Dunne some sort of way in the War Games match next month as well. But we'll have to wait and see. But Tyler Bate wins. Okay, probably get him back into the running for the for the UK Championship. Again, him and Pete Dunne had 3 great matches last year. Again, their second match was no doubt about it, the best one they had. They want to take over Chicago again. Match of the year in 2017. There's 2 young guys who just know how to tear it up big time. And again, Tyler Bate, being 21 years old, has already made himself look like one of the best stars in the company because of just, again, how good he can adapt to any different style of wrestler that he faces. We got David Bowie, a tiger on a rainbow. Just finished watching this. Apart from the Gibson promo, I felt it was spinning wheels. He thought NXT UK was. Again, it's nothing like send the world on fire quite yet. I know I gave this episode an A- because I do enjoy the wrestling aspect of it. But to me, they're still introducing the characters in some ways. Again, some of them I know we've seen them from NXT or even 205 Live, Kai, Dunn, Darty, May on Classic. But again, this show I feel is really gonna be impressive to me, and bring out the best in some wrestlers who aren't getting as many opportunities on 205 Live or NXT in general. But that's fine. That's how you feel. I do think the Zach Gibson promo was good, but so yeah, I do look forward to see what the NXT UK brand has to offer next week. So again, I'll give this an A-, maybe more of a B+. I'll lower down to a B+ because there wasn't really a championship match here or anything. The match, the main event was pretty good, but I'll lower. I'm going to give this a B+. Strong B+ for NXT UK this week. What grade would you give NXT UK? What are your thoughts on the show so far? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to click my like and subscribe or comment to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirborne93. And guys, that is review 1 of 3 tonight. So stay tuned, as in just a few minutes, I'll get started with my 205 Live reviews. So until then, guys, I'll see you guys then. Peace out, everybody.